So I, I am contractually obligated to make this video. Uh, about a month ago, Eddy over at Eddy's Cardboard Chaos did a video that Mangini asked him to do for um, the presidential education series. I think it is. I think is what he's calling it. Anyway, it's a playlist that Mangini's put together. Just a lot of educational stuff. He's asked a variety of different YouTubers to do videos just educating on specific things, and so it's a really cool series. That's also where he has all of his behind the videos. Um, I think they're on there as well. Anyway, just a great. The whole concept is really great. Anyway, so he asked Eddy to do one on TTMing, and so Eddy did that, and then said that along with doing kind of um, along with the education part of it, he wanted to do a giveaway. And so he said, if anyone has not done a TTM in at least 6 months, if you'll, send him an email or whatever, I think you had a comment on the thing. Anyway, you could win. And so he did I think it was a follow-up video, and said that five or six people had let him know that they'd like to be put in, and so I was one of those five. I'd given him my email address, and he just said, well, he's going to send it out, and whoever wins, you'll find out by someday you'll get something in the mail, and from Andre Dawson. So yesterday, I get home from work, and what do you know? I've got something in the mail from Dawson. I don't know a Dawson in Florida. I don't know. It's one of those. I don't know if I just don't win enough to expect these things or what, but it just kind of totally took me off guard. By the way, I love the stamp. What a cool stamp. Got a nice Hank Aaron stamp. Anyway, so this was in the mail waiting for me, and I opened it up, and look at that. That is Andre Dawson autographing, putting his signature on what is probably my favorite Andre Dawson card. I love this card. Actually, just a really quick aside. So I got this yesterday, and so I was showing it to my wife, and who doesn't care about cards, but she acts excited for me anyway. And so then last night I'm doing some dishes, and I'm watching videos. This is what I do on Monday nights. I do dishes and watch videos. And so I was watching Lou over at Godlike Collectibles, and he's doing his If I Could Only Have One series, and he was doing Andre Dawson, and so he's showing this card, this Andre Dawson card, and my wife happens to walk in at that point and sees it and says, "Hey, isn't that the card you just got?" I'm like, yes, it is. And so just kind of a funny thing. Anyway, so he said if we got this, we were contractually obligated to make a video and to say we are now addicted to TTMing. So more on that in just a moment. If you watch my videos, you know that while it might have been true a month ago that I had not done TTMing in 6 months, actually I had never done it before, you know that that's not true anymore. I did my first one a couple of weeks ago. Eddy, I hope this doesn't disqualify me, and I need to pass this Andre Dawson on to somebody else. But this is my Manny Sanguian that I just got, I think, 2 weeks ago. And the whole TTMing thing for me wasn't... It was something I'd never heard of before I came onto YouTube, and have been excited about kind of dipping my toes in the water, and so that's what the Sanguian was. But one of the things that propelled me to just go ahead and jump, I needed to do it, was when Ryan Sandberg passed away, and he was such a big TTM guy. Just loved being, he took fandom seriously, and I know that even after he passed, there were some cards that he'd signed that someone from his family, wife or child or somebody, sent out to people. People received cards back from Ryan Sandberg after he'd passed away. So pretty incredible. So anyway, when he passed away and that, I was like, man, I need to do this. I need to start doing this before some of the people that I really want, something happens to them as well. Ryan Sandberg would have been one of those guys I would have thought that was kind of cool to get something back in the mail from him. Anyway, so now the only question that remains is, okay, so what's next? Because this is fun. I know some guys do this a ton. I'm not going to be that guy, but I do want this to become a regular part of my collecting, where every few weeks I send out a card or two to somebody. I've got some ideas. I said this is my favorite Andre Dawson card. It is. Even though I think of Andre Dawson as a Cub, I've thought about sending him another one. I love his signature anyway. It's very distinctive. You know exactly what you're looking at when you see it. And this is the card that I think of when I think of Andre Dawson. I think of his 88 top. So I've thought about just going right back, right back to Dawson. I've thought about doing some Pirates, Bill Mazeroski TTMs, and so I've thought about sending a card or two to him. I probably will send something else to Sanguian at some point. I've got a couple cards in mind that I'd like to send, but I don't have extras of them right now. So anyway, this is my Eddie. If you are watching, thank you very much for doing this, for the training. A lot of people on here have kind of encouraged, I think, me to do this. There have been a lot of different people who've kind of influenced this part of my, or inspired, that's what Dylan says, inspired this part of collecting. So I'm excited to go down this this road and just begin to put some of these cards together, collect some more. So Eddie, thank you for that. Thank you for helping me to get started on that, getting started on the TTM. And if I have disqualified myself, you let me know, and I will I'll send the Dawson on to somebody else, and I'll just send out my own. I have a copy or two of that card without a signature. So anyway, thank you very much if you've watched up until this point. Just wanted to do a short one tonight to fulfill my obligations. But anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much, and have a good night.